All right. Welcome back. I'm currently on the wrong page. There we go. Sorry about that. Back already. And I want to talk about this story that I stumbled upon. Now, I guess this story was actually published a few days ago. And as always, I sent Shaquille O'Neal a tweet letting him know that we're about to discuss his visit to a dog attack victim. I believe she was in Atlanta. All right, let's check it out.
Shaquille O'Neal is now helping out a young girl in Atlanta who's made a miraculous recovery after being attacked by a dog. Oh, she's not letting it slow her down, is she? That 5-year-old cutie is getting back to her old self. She was attacked by a dog while walking to the...
Okay. All right. Now, if you follow the channel, then you recognize the pattern. It's a pattern that I point out in every story about a dog attack. It's how they try to project the idea that the child will recover and it will be like nothing ever happened. And the highlight of the story is supposed to be how happy the child is now. As if that's what we need to focus on. Granted, it's important for the child to be in good spirits, but not to the point where everyone ignores what happened, what caused it, and ignores steps that we're supposed to be taking to prevent it from happening again. Right? Always got to point that out because they always make that implication.
Oh, she's not letting it slow her down, is she? That 5-year-old cutie is getting back to her old self. She was attacked by a dog while walking to the bus stop.
Yeah, in honor of that little girl finally getting out of the hospital, she had a surprise visitor there waiting for her at a furniture store.
We're not done playing hide.
Okay, well, go ahead.
No,
You need to come find me.
Yeah,
you gotta go find him now.
Count to 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Love you.
I love you too.
All right.
All right, Shaquille O'Neal, a very big man with a very big heart indeed. Well, after spending a little time there with the girl and her family, Shaq announced that he was also buying her a new laptop and some furniture for her family.
Oh, what a sweet girl.
Okay. So Shaquille travels however far he traveled. He heard about this story. His idea was to play with the child, buy the parents new furniture, and purchase the child a new laptop. Right? That's it. That is Shaquille's response.
The girl's parents say she still has a long road to recover. You can see she's walking with a limp and clearly has a bandage still around her head. But she really just wants to get back to school. That's what she's excited about right now.
Oh, she really just wants to get back to school. Now, I don't know if I'm explaining this clearly enough. These people brush these attacks off. They will do everything and anything to take your attention away from the importance of prevention, preventing this from happening in the future. And they avoid dealing with that because dogs are too important. We will never ban pit people. This child was attacked by a pit bull. So this is an even bigger problem. This puts even more pressure on Shaquille O'Neal, on any and everybody, the lawmakers. Why? Because let's say banning dogs is far-fetched, which is what I suggest. Banning pit bulls is not far-fetched. You follow? And with someone like Shaquille O'Neal, who is followed by tens of millions of people on all of his social media platforms, if Shaquille O'Neal creates a petition to ban pit bulls, at least in the county where this child was attacked, you can't even do that. If Shaquille created a petition to ban pit bulls in that district, it would get millions of signatures just because it's Shaquille O'Neal. Does Shaquille have anything to say about pit bulls? He doesn't even question pit bulls in society. So what good is it that he visited the child if he's not going to use his name and platform to help prevent it from happening to another child in the future? What's the point? Just to play hide and seek, get her parents some furniture and get her a laptop? What type of lesson is supposed to be learned from that? The only lesson that teaches is that you're supposed to ignore the danger that dogs present in society. All that does is help people to ignore the fact that dogs prefer to attack children. Again, children make up 17% approximately of the United States population, but they account for over half of all dog attack victims. And when you're talking about severe attacks, severe mutilations, they account for even a larger percentage. Now, what is this? How about I got an ad blocker and the ads still pop up?
This is really bad. This is not okay. I saw her and I couldn't help her.
It's not the news I really want
Okay.
here in life. That
Okay, wait a minute. Let's start that over. My screen froze.
This is really bad. This is not okay. I saw her and I couldn't help her.
People,
it's not the news I really want to hear.
people, that little girl that Shaquille went to visit, I need y'all to understand something. There was a fatality. In that same dog attack, there was a fatality. The little girl lived. Her friend, who she was walking to the bus stop with, died. Okay, let's continue.
In life that I have to bury my grandson.
He said he just killed a baby and he just tacked another one. I said, what? Not him. I don't think so. Y'all must got the wrong dog.
A local community now dealing.
Huh? Not him. Y'all must got the wrong dog. Listen. Okay, look, let's finish this.
With an unimaginable heartache tonight after a pair of pit bulls attacked a group of children on their way to school.
And tonight, family members join neighbors and friends and strangers in paying tribute to these young victims. Among them, a 6-year-old.
We don't need no tribute. What we need is laws. we will remember. That is how you remember them. That's how you pay tribute to them. By putting together petitions, laws that'll prevent it from happening again. If you do any and everything except try to change the laws, you're doing nothing. And even if you're not trying to change the laws, the very least you could do is warn people to stay away from pit bulls and to never let your kids walk anywhere by themselves.
Logan Bratz, who was killed, and a 5-year-old, Soraya Sanders, who is still hospitalized this evening. At this stage, the dog's owner is facing misdemeanor charges.
But as John Chiric reports, that all could change. He joins us live from the Southwest Atlanta neighborhood where this tragedy unfolded.
The grief throughout this neighborhood is deep and sharp for the children who were killed and mauled and terrorized by these dogs.
You heard the child's name, Soraya Sanders. Y'all heard that, right?
Killed, and a 5-year-old, Soraya Sanders.
Soraya Sanders. Sanders is the child that Shaquille visited. Okay? I want people to understand that. Okay, this thing is moving extremely slow. Here it goes. See? Soraya Sanders. That is the girl that Shaquille O'Neal visited. And what did he do? He did not use his popularity, his fame, to call attention to the importance of banning pit bulls. No, he didn't want to do that. He did not want to rock the boat. That's why these celebrities, these athletes, they're worthless. All he wants to do is goof around, buffoon around, maybe, do some PR work. He just saw it as an opportunity to get positive headlines. Don't really have a genuine care in the world about preventing this from happening in the future. So what's the point? What's the point? I'm not a fan of these types of things where these famous basketball players, these celebrities, go and visit children who've been attacked by dogs. I'm not a fan of that. If you're not serious, if you're not actually trying to, if you don't have a genuine passion, then just stay out of it. This is not something to play with. If you don't have a genuine passion to stop this from happening, then don't get involved. If you're not going to say the things that I'm saying, if you're not going to at least create a petition, I don't want to hear you. Don't want to hear you. Right? This is enough to make your head spin. Okay, now this was back in what? 2017. Y'all might remember.
Big talkers now. We start in
Lord. Y'all might remember I reported on this. But I did not know that Shaquille O'Neal actually visited her. Okay? Here you can see it here. O'Neal has been helping families since Soraya was attacked by dogs. Why was she attacked? What was she doing? What was going on? Was she pulling on the dog's ears? No. Pulling on the dog's tail? No. Did she try to take the dog's food while it was eating? No. What was she doing? Walking home, minding her business. Excuse me, not home, walking to her school bus stop. So this was an unprovoked attack, as always. If you find out about a deadly attack launched on a child, this girl, how old was she? Like 6 years old, 7 years, 5 years old. This is a 5-year-old child. 5-year-old child. You hear about a 5-year-old child being the victim of a deadly attack where the child was mutilated. If you don't come and do something to try to bring attention to steps we need to take to prevent this from happening again, don't do nothing. Don't say nothing. Stay out of it. We don't need no little circus. We don't need you to try to be the center of attention, to try to be the highlight of this scenario, Shaquille. We don't need you trying to turn this case into a, hey, look at me, it's Shaquille O'Neal. Oh, look at me, I bought them some new furniture and a laptop. Do you know how irrelevant that is? New furniture and a laptop. Not one petition created. Not one word. He don't even need to create a petition. He don't have nothing to say to owners of pit bulls. You don't even suggest that they control their mutants. Not that that is an acceptable thing to say, but it's better than not saying nothing, especially with somebody with as much fame as Shaquille. You don't try to use your leverage, your clout, your name to put pressure on pit bull owners. These are completely unnecessary creatures. They have been banned all over the world at some point in time, even here in the United States, in many areas. Banned. In some parts of the U.S., they're still banned. So there's nothing new or unusual about pit bulls being banned. You don't have nothing, no suggestion. It just tells me that he's not really touched by stories like this. Because the first thing that goes through your mind, really the only thing that goes through your mind is, how do we prevent this from happening again? There's nothing more important. After an attack like this, there's nothing more important than preventing it from happening again. So why isn't that being brought up? So this was a huge failure on part of Shaquille and his PR team. Failure for all of these people involved. The media outlets for reporting on it and being all ecstatic. Oh, look at Shaq. The highlight of this story is not that she's dancing or smiling. Oh, look, she's going to be just as new. It'll be like nothing ever happened. See, you can be mutilated by dogs and life will go on as always. This girl going to be mutilated, scarred for life. Traumatized for life. What type of man responds to something like this by getting her some furniture and a laptop? You big goofball. Shaq, all these celebrities, they're clowns. These people are absolute clowns. The only real activists is us. We are all we have. Right? Not to dismiss that journalist who I brought up not long ago, not to dismiss her. But we're truly the only people out here. And that does not mean that you create a channel like mine. I want to be clear with a lot of people out here. You don't have to create an anti-dog channel. If you have 100 videos on your channel and you've made 1 or 2 really good anti-dog videos, that's enough for me to say, hey, check out this person. Go listen to what they said. I don't want people to feel pressured to, mirror what I'm doing. But at the very least, we need real support. If you're a celebrity, you got a big name, you want to step into this realm, don't act, don't pretend. We don't want or need pretenders who are just using these attack victims as a way for you to get positive publicity. That's actually an insult. That's disrespectful. Any other celebrity, y'all remember that Power Rangers producer or whoever went to visit, and some other celebrity went to visit the boy who was attacked as he tried to protect his sister. And he did the same thing that Shaq did. A little worthless, clownish visit where they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to say anything against dogs at all, not even against pit bulls. They just want to go in and give the child a treat. We don't need that. It's absolutely worthless. Shaq, you visiting this child did not do anything to make her or the kids in that community safer. So your visit was a failure. What good is your fame? What good is your popularity if you can't put it towards things like this? And to be honest, for you to actually show up there, visit the child, and this gets publicity, and you don't say anything against pit bulls, against dogs, you don't start a petition, you don't do anything anti-dog, that means you're just like a person who supports it. You're no different from the people who believe pit bull bans should be removed. By default, at least in my book, that makes you a supporter of pit bulls being in the neighborhood, being in the community. You support it. So I want to send this message to Shaq and all other celebrities, all other, whatever you are. If you're a popular person, you have a big name, don't come over to this side of the world playing games. I'm already sick of you celebrities. If you're not serious, then just stay away. Find something else to use to get positive headlines and reviews. Because every time y'all step over in this realm and you don't do the right thing, I'm going to call you out. Shaq, as big as you are, do you know how small this made you look? Do you know how timid this made you look? Do you know how weak this made you look? Little girl from the community's been mutilated. You don't use your power and fame to help prevent this from happening in the future. Then your visit was worthless. Your power and fame is worthless. And if the whole world sees you show up to visit a child like this, and the whole world sees that you don't say anything against pit bulls, you don't create a petition, they're going to take that as you being fully in support of pit bulls being in the neighborhood. You're no different from a dog nutter at that point. And I'm not making stuff up. This is simple logic. So this is actually bad publicity for Shaquille, for the Power Rangers producers, whoever that was. Shaq, you don't have to be you don't have to be a crusader. There's been several people who created a few videos, anti-dog videos, and then never talked about dogs again. That's enough. I don't care if you only got one video, as long as you said the right thing in that one video. Shaq, I don't care if you only make one visit in your life to a dog attack victim. Just make sure you say the right things when you show up. Make sure you do something to help prevent it from happening again in the future. He did nothing. He said nothing. Let's play hide and seek. Get out of here. And that's just what they want. Some of these articles, these headlines, literally call Shaquille O'Neal a big kid. Where's that article? These reports of the case saying, oh, Shaq is a big harmless giant, a big child. Yeah, he sure is. A big scared child. Don't even got the cojones to say anything whatsoever about dogs, and especially about pit bulls. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for anybody to not speak against the ownership of pit bulls, especially if you're dealing with people who've been attacked. That goes for police officers, doctors, nurses. Anybody's aware that this goes on frequently. This happens. You're either for it or against it. Shaq, you heard this story and there was a death involved in the same attack. The girl survived. Her friend was killed. And you want to show up and play hide and seek? Get out of here. Y'all not going to use this part of the world as some type of joke, opportunity for you to goof off and be a buffoon. This ain't no laughing matter. This is infuriating how they try to minimize the seriousness of the threat that these things pose in the community. I don't want to see you playing a music and you got a video of the attack victim dancing. They always want to turn it into, oh, she's having fun. Oh, look at her. So, not that it matters, because I don't have a large platform. But if you want to do something like this, you want to visit a child who's been attacked by a dog, y'all better do and say the right things. And it's usually by a pit bull. It's usually by a bully breed. If you don't create a petition, if you don't speak out against the ownership of pit bulls, just stay home. You do more harm than good. Because all this did was distract everybody. The child, the child's parents. Distract them from preventative measures. Distract them. Now the only thing that matters is, oh, she got a visit from Shaq. Of course, now your mind has been totally taken off this case. What in the world? What does it take? What does it take? You talk about these things are so protected, it makes me sick. Truly makes me sick to my stomach. I do not like goofballs. People who are never serious. Now, I like to joke, laugh, and have fun just like everybody else. We have to. But don't be no goofball where every time people see you, you some type of clown. And that's Shaq. He can't even be serious when he's involved in something serious. He show up and visit the attack victim. He want to play hide and go seek. He want to dance. Man, get out of here. We don't need no clown over here. What's wrong with these people? Didn't I tell y'all? Now, I don't know if Shaq is a nutter. He seemed like a nutter. But he sure act like a nutter. He behaves like a nutter. Now, I want to show something else. I shared this video in the community section. This is one of the most shocking videos I've ever seen. This was so disrespectful, I had to share it. And I got to go over it on this video. If you haven't seen it, brace yourself.
The owners of 3 pit bulls who killed an elderly Calgary woman last month have surrendered one of the dogs to be euthanized, but they'll fight to keep the other 2 dogs alive at a court hearing this fall. Dennis Bajarek and Taylor Calkins handed over ownership of Smokey in court today. Once the ownership papers are filed, the city says the pit bull will be euthanized. Smokey was one of 3 dogs who mauled 86-year-old Betty Williams to death as she gardened in her back alley on June 5th. But Bajarek and Calkins have refused to surrender the other 2 dogs, Cinnamon and Bossy. A Court of Queen's Bench judge has set aside September 27th and 28th for a hearing to decide the dog's fate. Bajarek and Calkins face 12.
See, people like this guy, you shouldn't give people like this a whole bunch of laws and freedom. Basically, the freedom to attack anybody at any time. Being in possession of these mutants that were bred to attack and kill and to not stop attacking until the target is dead. Y'all don't have nothing to say about the ownership of these things. Y'all don't even point out that there should be regulations, more regulations surrounding who's allowed to own them. Shaq, you don't have nothing to say? See, when you spend your whole life clowning and being a buffoon, of course you don't know how to think like that. You don't know how to think like a man. You can only think like a flipping clown.
Bylaw charges and fines up to $120,000.
What's the point in having 5 pit bulls like this? These people, they use these dogs as weapons. That's the only reason these people are attracted to them, because of how dangerous they are. That alone should tell you that they should be banned, because you're going to have a bunch of lunatic psychopaths who own them.
Calgary police continue their criminal investigation.
This situation is likely.
And they having an investigation as always. Y'all notice nothing ever comes out of these stupid investigations. The only thing that comes out of it is the dog might not be euthanized and get rehomed somewhere else.
To reignite the long-standing debate around the pit bull breed.
Okay, now y'all hear that? Let me rewind it. They said this attack sparked an age-old discussion.
To $120,000. Calgary police continue their criminal investigation.
This situation is likely to reignite the long-standing debate around the pit bull breed, with one school of thought being that they're too dangerous to have as a pet. Walmer says it's not about the breed.
All dogs can bite. Of course, there's different factors at play as to how devastating that situation could be.
Okay, now y'all heard this behaviorist. Dog behavior consultant is her title. You heard what she said. Let's listen again. This is what I'm talking about.
Too dangerous to have as a pet. Walmer says it's not about the breed.
They're too dangerous to have. And this behavior said it's not about the breed.
All dogs can bite.
And she says all dogs can bite.
Of course, there's different factors at play as to how devastating that situation could be.
So she acknowledges that pit bulls have a more devastating bite, that they leave victims torn apart. So what are you talking about? That it's not about the breed. If you admit that they cause far more damage, which they do, if you admit that, then you are not allowed to say that it's not about the breed. This form of attack is specifically associated with this breed. This specific breed. It is because they are pit bulls. That is why they clamp down and don't let go. Shake and will launch a sustained attack. You won't be able to stop them from attacking. They won't respond to appeasement behavior. That's all associated with the breed. So what are you talking about is not the breed? How can you make a statement like that and then follow it up by not substantiating the statement? In fact, by saying something the total opposite. She says it's not about the breed. Then she proceeds to explain why it actually is about the breed. This is why these airheaded goofball behaviorists refuse to come onto this show, refuse to respond to us at all, because they know this is a bunch of baloney. All this rhetoric about, oh, it's not about the breed, but, you know, they do have a more devastating bite. Well, it is about the breed, idiot. And that means they're too dangerous. They're more dangerous than other dogs on average. That's what that means. So we got this dynamic where these people, we're going back and forth with these behaviors. Yeah, pit bull bans being lifted all across the country. We're out here on the grassroots fighting against this evil. And you have somebody who could change the whole world around. Shaq could revolutionize any anti-pit bull legislation or petition that he creates. It's going to get millions of signatures. But he don't want to do that because he's weak. Just like all these other celebrities are weak. The only people who got true strength is the grassroots.
The long-standing debate around the pit bull breed, with one school of thought being that they're too dangerous to have as a pet.
What do you mean one school of thought? That's the only school of thought. No, don't speak for us. Don't speak for us, nutters. We tell you what the business is. Yeah, they're too dangerous. You notice how weak of an argument they have when not even they can even make the argument. They want so bad to argue that it's not about the breed. But as soon as they open their stupid mouth, they confess that it is about the breed, because you can't deny that these things have a more devastating attack, more devastating bite. They inflict far more damage. That's undeniable. So why on earth they even make an attempt to say that it's not about the breed is beyond me. Just more reflection of how deranged they are.
Too dangerous to have as a pet. Walmer says it's not about the breed.
All dogs can bite. Of course, there's different factors at play as to how devastating that situation could be.
This is a nice community. So
you see, that's all she had to say. That's all she had to say. That was your dog behaviorist. That's why these goofballs refuse to respond to us, because they know they sound like goofballs.
So whenever you heard something like this, it's just break my heart.
I'm here at the park across the street from where it happened. Behind me there is a baseball diamond, a community garden, and over here there's a playground. Now, we spoke with neighbors in the area. They're all in total shock that this sort of thing could happen in this community.
Here you go. Here you go again. These sick, ignorant people projecting this idea that this is something so rare and unimaginable. Oh, this never happened. The people in this neighborhood never thought that something like this could ever happen. Y'all gonna have to stop with that stupid talk. This literally happens every day. Kids are attacked by dogs every single day. The severity of the injuries is irrelevant. It's just like companies that deal with near miss situations. Whether or not somebody got hurt or not is irrelevant. The fact that they were exposed to danger is enough for them to be forced to put in place safety precautions to prevent it from happening in the future. That's enough for them to make changes in their company. Stop with this goofball talk, man. Oh, these people never thought something like this could happen in their community. This is that zoinked out robot mentality to this modern generation. I'm so sick of this.
One woman said she hopes the community can come together for the family of the woman. Another said she
hope they can come together for the family of the woman. You hope the community can come together and do what? Stand in a circle under candlelight singing a song? That's what she's talking about. Community come together so you can be a bunch of zoinked out, brain dead nutters together in one big circle. Get together so you can just sit around and talk about anything other than preventing this from happening again in the future. That's all this dog nutter culture wants you to do. If you're going to respond to a dog attack, all you need to do is just gather in a circle and hold each other. Don't talk about how pit bulls need to be banned. Don't talk about how there needs to be much stricter regulation on who's allowed to own. Don't talk about none of that. Just sing happy songs and go home. No, it's not that type of party, nutters.
Never thought that this sort of thing could happen, and she'll be more aware moving forward.
Scary for me when I heard the news, because it's like this place is very familiar, and this park is our favorite one.
Barbara Walmers here is a behavioral expert with the Calgary Humane Society to talk more about this. As Valentine's Day, a day away, and giving love to our pets, sometimes we can smother our animals, correct?
Absolutely. She is just seeing herself on.
What is this? Do y'all see what I'm saying? At the end of this broadcast, they decided to show a dog that's being adopted. Now, this can't even be real. This can't be the same news site. Is it the same? No, this is City News. I don't know. Maybe Pitbull Victim Awareness edited this.
Barbara Walmers here is a behavioral expert with the Calgary Humane Society to talk more about this. As Valentine's Day, a day away, and giving love to our pets.
Yeah, because this is global news. But here's the point that Pitbull Victim Awareness is making. That you can't have these things wreaking so much havoc and literally bringing hell on earth and have people on your news broadcast doing this at the same time. Showcasing, advertising these things as if they're some type of harmless treasure. Now, and look, if you're not against this, promoting pit bulls on national TV, if you're not against this, don't go visiting kids who've been mauled by pit bulls. Just stay home. Because you're all doing it for your own selfish desires. That proves you're only doing it so that you can improve your public image. Nobody got time for that. Now, I'm not sure, but I don't think it's the same. At least I hope it ain't. I hope this ain't the same media outlet where at the end they wanted to advertise a pit bull.
Is a behavioral expert with the Calgary Humane Society to talk more about this. As
and she's a behavior expert. Again, these behavioral experts, they're all dog nutters. They're all dog nutters. Ideally, none of them should be dog nutters. You should have somebody that's impartial, who's going to tell the truth and be honest. Not people who are going to tend to side with dogs and against the public.
Valentine's Day, a day away, and giving love to our pets. Sometimes we can smother our animals, correct?
Absolutely. She is just seeing herself on television
Yes,
here,
she
so I'm
is.
just going to grab a treat out. Hey, Karma.
Oh,
Come here, sweetie.
Sometimes we can smother. What do you mean smother them? What are you talking about? Oh, is that why they attack? Because you smothered them?
So yes, one of the things we'll do is sometimes touch our pets. Hey, kid, good girl. There you go.
Do you want to mention that Karma is up for adoption?
Yes, Karma is up for adoption. She's a 2-year-old pit bull mix. She came into us because her people could not afford her vet care.
So this woman sitting up here with this dog, and she gotta feed it nonstop. The dog is locked in on something. It's focused on something. Her idea to distract it is to put food in front of it. So this should be illegal. These nutters getting on here promoting pit bulls in the face of stories like this should be illegal, and it should trigger the general public. There should be massive backlash for anybody promoting the ownership of these things. They are more dangerous than other dogs. That's a fact that can be proven. We don't want to hear no philosophy. They're more dangerous than other dogs. They have a more devastating bite. They don't stop attacking. When they attack, they don't feel pain. There's too many opioids and stuff flowing through them when they are attacking, which makes them a lot more dangerous than other breeds of dog. It is the breed. All dogs are dangerous, and they should all be banned. But pit bulls, bully breeds are more dangerous, and there's no arguing against banning these things. Okay, I hear some knocking next door. It better be somebody putting a nail in the wall. So this infuriated me. And I hope, Shaq, I hope you see this video. And if you got something to say, please say it. More than anything, I hope you start a petition. At least for that county where this child was attacked. Have you done that? I think this took place in 2017. It's not too late. Go ahead and start a petition, Shaq, and share it on your Twitter, on your Instagram. All right? Don't insult victims of pit bull attacks. If somebody as famous as Shaquille, dude, the only reason you should show up to visit a dog attack victim, the only reason you should show up is to help take steps to prevent it from happening again, not to play hide and seek, not to go buying furniture and laptops. Let's stop goofing around here and get serious. Shout out to everybody who's able to join me for this short live stream. And I hope to see you all on the next as we continue with this crusade.